Have you ever seen someone and just couldn't pull your eyes away? Our big and bright world is packed with the strangest and most amazing sights imaginable, and there's still so much waiting to be uncovered. From the world's ugliest man to a woman with the smallest waist, in this video, we're going to show you the 15 extremely bizarre people in the world. So, let's start off with number 15, Sian Mumtaz. Sian Mumtaz lives in Pakistan along the road between Lahore and Narawal. Since childhood, his head has grown unusually large and misshapen. People who meet him immediately notice how much bigger his skull appears compared with the rest of his body. Unlike conditions such as Proteus syndrome, which usually affect one side of the body, Sian's head appears enlarged on both sides, making doctors believe it may be an extremely rare congenital disorder that has never been fully documented. When he turned 18, his family began searching for medical answers, hoping someone might explain what was happening to him. This man simply wants to understand his condition. He dreams of running a rickshaw business and living independently, but the weight and size of his head make everyday movements exhausting. Walking, working, and even socializing can feel overwhelming. He often feels isolated and worries that marriage may never be possible for him, but he remains hopeful that someone might one day help him. Number 14, Gail Applegren. Well, tumors can grow across the body, often in places everyone notices first. As a child, she faced teasing, whispers, and cruel comments from people who never understood her condition. One tumor on her chest became so large that she sometimes tucked it into her waistband just to feel comfortable in public. But Gail refused to let that define her life. She played sports, studied hard, earned 2 university degrees, and eventually became a social worker helping others face their own struggles. By then, she had already endured more than 40 surgeries. The tumors kept returning, but Gail kept moving forward. For many years, she never met anyone who truly understood what life with neurofibromatosis felt like. Then she met Tim. He had the same condition. In 2014, they married and built a life together, proving love can grow where confidence and understanding meet. On number 13, Megalencephaly. Megalencephaly spent the first years of her life in a rural village in Ethiopia, where even basic medical care was impossible to reach. A huge tumor grew along her jaw, swelling larger each year and slowly pressing against her airway. As it expanded, breathing became harder, and the danger of suffocation grew frighteningly real. Her village had no electricity, running water, or a nearby hospital that could attempt such a complicated operation. But things changed when a visiting American official encountered Megalencephaly's family during a humanitarian mission. Determined to help, he began searching for surgeons willing to take the risk. Eventually, a team at Lenox Hill Hospital agreed to try. In May, Megalencephaly and her dad traveled thousands of miles for a 20-hour surgery. Doctors removed nearly a pound of tumor while carefully protecting her facial nerves and rebuilding her jaw. Weeks later, Megalencephaly smiled again. "I'm finally free to breathe and laugh." Number 12, Joseph Williams. This Chicago man was born with an extremely rare condition known as autofacial syndrome. He was born without a lower jaw, something doctors call the mandible. Because of this, he could not speak, chew, or breathe in the usual way. During his early years, surgeons tried repeatedly to build a jaw using bone grafts, hoping his body would accept them. Each attempt failed. As he grew older, Joseph learned to survive in ways most people could never imagine. He receives food through a feeding tube connected to his stomach and breathes through a tracheostomy in his neck. His childhood was not easy. Bullying, loneliness, and rejection followed him through school and daily life. Yet none of it destroyed his determination. Today, Joseph works as a welder and communicates through sign language and written messages. In 2020, he married Vanna, His life proves dignity does not depend on appearance, but on courage and self-respect. Number 11. Trans Dad. Well, Danny Wakefield never expected that becoming a parent would happen the way it did. This 39-year-old trans-masculine non-binary person from Seattle had been living openly as themselves for years, sharing their identity with honesty and pride. After nearly a decade on testosterone and undergoing top surgery, life felt settled. But in 2020, during the early chaos of the pandemic, everything shifted. While recovering from COVID, Danny took a pregnancy test and was stunned to see a positive result. Despite being in the middle of their transition, they still had the reproductive organs needed to carry a child. Instead of panic, the moment brought clarity. Danny decided to continue the pregnancy and welcome the baby into the world. Their son, Wilder, was born later that year. Today, Danny shares their life online through the platform Danny the Trans Dad, where over 1 million followers watch their journey. Through it all, Danny stands by a simple truth. Being a parent comes from love, not labels. What do you think about him? Number 10. Mithun Chauhan. Mithun grew up in India, facing a condition that slowly changed his entire life. Neurofibromatosis caused tumors to appear across his body as he got older. They spread over his arms, chest, face, and legs, growing larger and more painful with time. The physical changes made everyday life incredibly difficult. Children stared openly. Some schools refused to admit him. Many people avoided him altogether, as though his condition defined everything about him. For years, Mithun felt invisible, as if the world only saw the illness and not the person living inside it. Then something unexpected happened. A crowdfunding campaign began sharing his story online, and donations arrived from people who believed he deserved help. With that support, doctors performed several surgeries to remove the largest tumors and restore his vision. Slowly, Mithun began recognizing himself again. He stepped outside without fear, played cricket with friends, and started dreaming about opening a small shop of his own. He says, now, he is like anyone else. Number 9. Jono Lancaster. Jono was born with Treacher-Collins syndrome, a rare genetic condition that affects how facial bones develop. Because of it, he has no cheekbones, a very small jaw, and significant hearing difficulties. Only 36 hours after his birth, his biological parents decided they could not raise him. He was later adopted by a woman named Jean, who gave him the love and stability he needed growing up. Childhood was not easy. Jono faced bullying, rejection, and long periods of deep insecurity. Mirrors were something he avoided for years because he struggled to accept his own reflection. Over time, however, something powerful changed. Instead of hiding from the world, he began speaking openly about facial differences and self-acceptance. Today, Jono travels internationally, meeting children who live with similar conditions and reminding them they are not alone. Through his talks, interviews, and his memoir, Not All Heroes Wear Capes, he shows people that worth is never defined by appearance. He is unique and completely human. Number 8. Liu Ye-well. Most love stories follow a pretty familiar path. Two people meet, fall for each other, and eventually promise to share their lives together. Liu Ye from China chose a very different path. Back in 2007, he held a wedding ceremony where the bride was a life-sized photograph of himself wearing a wedding dress. Guests attended, music played, and traditional decorations surrounded the celebration. To many observers, the scene felt strange, even humorous. But for Liu, the moment carried a deeper meaning. He explained that the ceremony symbolized self-acceptance and the belief that a person should feel complete on their own before searching for someone else. The event followed many of the same customs seen in traditional weddings, including incense offerings and spoken vows. People reacted in many ways, from laughter to absolute confusion, yet Lou remained cool and calm through it all. For him, the ceremony was not a joke. It was a statement about identity, independence, and finding peace within himself. Number 7. Adam Pearson. Adam lives with a rare genetic condition known as neurofibromatosis type 1. This disorder causes tumors to grow along nerve tissues, often affecting appearance as well as health. Adam first noticed something unusual when he was 5 years old, and a small bump on his head refused to heal. Doctors later confirmed the diagnosis. Although Adam has an identical twin brother, the condition affected him far more visibly. Over the years, he has undergone more than 39 surgeries to manage tumor growth. One tumor even damaged his eyesight, leaving him blind in one eye. Despite these challenges, Adam refused to hide from the public eye, and he stepped directly into the spotlight instead. He appeared in the film Under the Skin alongside Scarlett Johansson, and later starred in Chained for Life and A Different Man. Through documentaries and public speaking, Adam challenges society's idea of beauty and difference. Number 6. Sanju Bhagat. Sanju Bhagat spent most of his life working as a farmer in India while living with something deeply unusual. His stomach was extremely swollen, and so much so that people in his village constantly mocked him, saying he looked pregnant. It was humiliating, but Sanju tried to ignore the jokes and continue his daily life. Everything changed when he reached 36. His stomach suddenly became so large that breathing itself started to feel difficult. Doctors rushed him to Tata Memorial Hospital in Mumbai for emergency surgery, believing a massive tumor was growing inside him. But what surgeons discovered stunned everyone in the room. Inside Sanju's abdomen was a rare condition known as fetus in fetu. A malformed twin had been trapped inside his body since birth. The tiny body still had bones, limbs, and even patches of hair. For 36 years, Sanju had unknowingly carried the remains of his own twin brother inside him. Few medical discoveries have ever shocked doctors more. All right, guys, now let's head over to Number 5. Kathy Young. Now this one is pretty daring, or maybe not. Kathy Young holds a record that seems almost impossible to believe. She is known as the woman with the smallest waist ever documented. Her waist measures just 15 inches. To most people, that number sounds unreal. Kathy achieved this extraordinary figure through many years of dedicated corset training. She began gradually tightening corsets around her waist, wearing them for long periods every day. Over time, her body slowly adapted to the shape. While most waistlines naturally sit closer to 24 inches or more, Kathy continued shaping hers further and further. Eventually, the world took notice. She earned a Guinness World Record and became famous for her striking hourglass silhouette. Some people admire the dedication it required, while others find it difficult to understand. Either way, Kathy's determination cannot be ignored. Reaching a 15-inch waist was not luck or genetics. It demanded patience, discipline, and years of commitment. Her beautiful figure remains one of the most unusual body transformations ever recorded. Number 4. Runa Begum. Runa was born in a small village in India with hydrocephalus, which causes fluid to build up inside the brain. As the pressure increased, her head grew far larger than normal, eventually reaching nearly 3 times the typical size. Her parents, Abdul and Fatima, loved their daughter deeply, but lived with very limited resources and little access to advanced medical care. For a long time, help seemed impossible. But then everything changed when a photograph of Runa, taken by a local photographer, began circulating online. The image reached people across the world and touched many hearts. A Norwegian organization partnered with doctors at Fortis Hospital in India to provide treatment at no cost. Surgeons performed several operations, and slowly reducing her head size from 94 centimeters to 58. Runa's journey later appeared in the documentary Rooting for Runa. In 2017, breathing complications ended her life, but her story still inspires compassion. She was not a monster or a curse, but a kind and cute soul. Number 3. Kala Kaiwi. Kala has turned his body into something that looks almost unreal. More than 75% of his skin is covered in tattoos. His tongue has been split in two. That over 70 piercings decorate different parts of his body, and silicone implants form horn-like shapes beneath the skin of his forehead and face. At first glance, the transformation might seem shocking, but for Kaiwi, it goes far deeper than appearance. His body modifications are tied closely to his identity and his connection to his native Hawaiian heritage. Nearly all of the piercings he wears were done by his own hand, which makes his body a personal work of art. Every tattoo, every implant, and every stretch of skin carries meaning. Kaiwi does not see these changes as extremes. He sees them as a form of self-expression and cultural pride. Instead of trying to blend into the crowd, he chooses to show the world exactly who he is, without apology or fear. And he is super happy. Number 2. Charmaine Sahadeo. Charmaine understands pain in a way few people ever will. Her body carries the visible signs of a rare condition called neurofibromatosis type 1, often shortened to NF1, and thousands of tumors cover her skin, and some have grown so large that they hang heavily from her leg. For many years, Charmaine tried to live quietly in Trinidad, raising her children and working when she could. After the birth of her second son, Osiris, everything changed. The tumors began growing faster and larger, making daily life more painful and limiting her ability to walk or work. Surgeries offered little relief, and the condition, which runs in her family, had continued to damage her nerves. Her husband eventually left, leaving her to face the struggle alone. Still, Charmaine refused to give up. She reached out to specialists abroad, including Dr. Ryan in Los Angeles. He saw hope where others saw risk and agreed to help her fight forward without any profit. Number 1. Katie Renfro. Katie was born in Florida with a condition called megalencephaly, which causes the brain and head to grow larger than normal. From the moment she was born, her appearance made people curious, sometimes even uncomfortable. But those who truly know Katie see something far more important than her diagnosis. Her days include medical challenges like seizures and developmental delays, but her personality shines with curiosity. Her mother has become her strongest protector and voice. Whenever strangers make cruel comments online, Charlotte responds with patience and courage, reminding people that her daughter is a child deserving of respect and not a spectacle. Through social media and news stories, Katie's life has reached millions. Each smile she shares quietly pushes people to rethink what beauty and normal really mean. Behind every difficult day stands a family filled with love, determination, and a belief that Katie's life matters just as much as anyone else's. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging with us, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Take care, and we'll see you soon.